Hello again, my yoga friends, and welcome to another stretch session with Yoga with Yelena channel. And thanks again for tuning in. I'm super excited to share another juicy, lovely, deep stretch with you guys so that we can get started getting ourselves in such a good habit of really nurturing and doing something amazing for our body on a daily basis. So whether this is something that you're just doing maybe before or after a workout session, or whether you're trying to create a good habit or maybe even wind down before you go to bed at night. This is great for so many different things. You can go ahead, bookmark it, do it over and over again. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Today's stretch is a stretch from head all the way down to the toes. So let's go ahead and get started in a seated position. You can sit facing me, but I prefer you facing the long way of your mat. I just wanted you guys to be able to get a good idea of what I'm doing, so that's why I'm facing you. So go ahead, start in a seated position. We're gonna place the palms on top of the knees, sit upright, and we're just going to take a couple breaths here. So we'll take a deep breath in, filling up the nose. Open the mouth and release it. Good. And let's take one more of these breaths to help flush and cleanse the body, to help aid in detoxification, and also to wake up our neurological system, get us ready for the day, get us ready for this stretch. Good. We're going to go ahead and start with the neck here. So let's just take a couple neck circles. We're going to start going down and to the right. So drop the chin down to the chest. Take a couple circles. You might hear some cracking and crunching in the neck. That is totally normal. And if you want to even find one of those little cracky, crunchy spots and get into just that little area, just be gentle. The neck is an area we want to be a little bit more gentle with. Let's take one more big circle on this side. We're going to go ahead and switch sides. Down and to the left. Targeting certain areas that are extra crunchy. Good. No matter how goofy we look. One more big circle here. Good. We can just bring our ears from shoulder to shoulder. As we still maintain this upright position, we want to have a nice, big, lengthened spine. And we want to try and maintain some type of consistency with our breathing. And let's get into our shoulders now. So we've moved past the neck. We're going to move the shoulders back, one shoulder at a time. This is another area you may hear some crunching or cracking, and that's totally fine. Let's go ahead and move it forward. And then we're going to take both shoulders back at the same time. Roll them back. Ooh, I hear a lot of cracking, crunching in my back here. Roll them back. Two more times. Roll back. Feels so nice. We're really opening up the chest nice and broad. And let's take it forward so we can actually hunch and round as we do this. Really stretching in the shoulder blades, the upper back, shoulder area. Ooh, yeah, that feels really nice. Two more times. Good. And then we're going to get into our wrists. So we'll take the wrists, interlace the hands like this, and we're going to roll the wrists from side to side. Lots of cracking in here too. We can make them bigger. Probably will remind you of when you were a kid. I know we used to do stuff like this all the time. Not really sure why, but... And then we'll go ahead. We're going to cross the hands like this. So this time we'll cross the left hand on top of the right, and then we want to face the palms inward. And then interlace the hands. And then we're going to bring the fist up through towards our chest and bring it all the way to the top. We should definitely be feeling this in the wrist, and we can take it back and forth. Nice wrist stretch here. Okay, extend it all the way back out. Release the hands. Bring that right hand on top, so the palms should still be facing each other. Go ahead, interlace once again, and then we'll check out this other side. Feels really nice. Good, go ahead, release the interlaced hands. We're gonna shake it out, shake out the wrist, shake out the head, and then bring the palms back down onto the knees. So we're gonna take full upper body torso circles here. So first we're gonna circle down into the right. So we begin to take the entire torso. We can even roll the head into it too. So we're kind of incorporating all the parts of the body that we just stretched out. Focusing first from our head and our torso, shoulders. Take it to the other side. Good. Go ahead. Bring it back through a neutral spine. And from here, we're going to place the right palm outside of the right hip. Sweep the left arm up to the side and then swim it over the head towards that right hand as well. And then we'll slide this right hand out a bit further, feeling this nice big side stretch that lengthens the outer side of the left body. Really reach to those left fingertips. And then we can take our gaze underneath the left armpit to the left side of the room. So we're getting into the neck a bit here too. It might feel good for some of us to drop the right forearm down to the mat and deepen the stretch a bit. But we do want to pay extra close attention to that left glute, the left sit bone, and make sure that that's not lifting off the mat. If it is, we want to make sure we come back onto the right palm. We will gain flexibility with consistency. So don't worry, one day it will happen. Good. And then bring it back through center. Whew. You can take a couple of those shoulder rolls backwards and forwards. And then this time stretching that left palm out to the side. Slide it down the mat. Extend the right arm up to the side and swim it over to the other side. Stopping right here before we decide if we want to lower the forearm down or not. Just really reaching and stretching through those right fingers. Feeling the side body expand and open up. Rib cage opens. And then we can deepen down, dropping the forearm if that suits us. Making sure the right sit bone is planted. And then take the gaze up underneath the right armpit. Breathing into it. Beautiful work, my friends. Go ahead, bring it back through center. Take those shoulder circles here. Backwards and forwards. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way overhead. Exhale, drop them down to the sides. Inhale, sweep them back up. Exhale, drop them down to the sides. Last time, inhale, sweep them up and forward fold. Tuck the chin to chest. See if you can relax the facial muscles and also begin to walk the hands out just a bit further. Good. Inhale, slowly rise up. So now we've worked all the way from the top of the head down through the arms. We've gotten into the spine quite a bit, the side, body, wrists, shoulders. We are golden in the upper body here. Maybe just a little bit more arms. So we'll roll forward. We're going to get into the spine just a couple more seconds here, taking a couple cat-cows. Inhale, lift up through the chin and the chest, coming into cow pose. Roll those shoulder blades back. This is always such a yummy stretch, really feeling it in the spine. Exhale, cat pose. Really round and hunch here. Tuck the chin to chest. And that tailbone tucks under as well. Let's take one more round, big filling inhale. Feeling the lungs expand. Seeing if we can sip in just a bit more breath. And then let it all out. Exhale. Cat pose, pull the belly button towards the spine. Bring it back through a neutral table. Drop the sit bones down towards the heels. One last big shoulder opener, arm stretch here. We're going to interlace those hands behind the back. Pull them back, open up the chest, nice lean back, gazing up. Yes, this should feel amazing in the front body. And then we can go ahead and fold it forward, trying to drop the forehead down towards the mat as we extend the arms long overhead. Slowly rise as we sip in that breath. Release the hands. Come back to tabletop. Now it's time that we start moving down into the lower body, the lower extremities. We move the hips a bit from side to side, starting to get in and create some mobility in our lower body. Good. Then bring it back through our tabletop. And we're going to start with our pigeon pose on the right side. If you have no idea what this is, that's fine. You are in for a real treat. This is a big, giant hip opener. Step the right foot through between the hands like this. And then heel toe the right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Then we are going to work to drop that right knee down over by the right wrist or hand. Slide the left thigh back. Now, we do want to work to try and bring the shin parallel to the front of the mat. However, with all of our bone structures being so completely different, this is not always going to look the same. So we might see that our leg begins to bend and come on a diagonal, and that's completely fine as well. You'll still get the same benefits of the stretch. So from here, bring the fingertips in front so that we can square our hips to the front of the mat. And then we're going to take a nice big side stretch here. Drop the left forearm down. Reach the right arm all the way up. Take the gaze up towards the fingertips. Breathe. Beautiful work. Drop the right palm. Both forearms meet the mat. We can begin to walk the hands out in front of us as we surrender down into pigeon pose, working to find some stillness. Focusing on the breathing, trying to drop the forehead down towards the mat. Just maybe bringing in that awareness here, conscious awareness, seeing what arises in a more intense stretch like this. A lot of deep-rooted emotions may decide to come up to the surface, and all we can do here is really just be the observer of our experience. Let's rise all the way back up. And then shift the weight into the right hip. Slowly swing the left leg all the way around. I'm going to face you so you can see what I mean here. So we shift the weight into the right hip, swing the left leg all the way around, plant the sole of the foot outside of the right thigh. So we're twisting up a little bit like a pretzel here. We're going to be twisting the entire spine to the left. So place the left palm to find your balance and stability, and then lift the right arm up, cross the right elbow over that left knee, and take the twist. To the left, gaze will follow. Wringing and rinsing the spine, helping to cleanse and detoxify. These twists are so good for the body. You can think of it like wringing out a dirty dish rag. Go ahead, come back through center. We'll cross the feet back in a seated position, roll forward, back into tabletop, and we're going to move to the other side. Step the left foot through between the hands, begin to heel toe the foot over to the right, dropping the knee, coming down into Pigeon Pose. It's okay if each side looks completely different, feels completely different. That is the beauty of the human body. Go ahead, square the hips to the front. We begin to drop the right forearm down. Inhale, sip in that big breath. Left arm lifts. Twisting pigeon. Drop the left forearm down to meet the right, and then we'll surrender all the way down. Trying to extend the arms long in front of us, dropping the forehead down to the mat, bringing back that conscious awareness. Inhale to rise. Shift the weight into the left hip. Swing the right leg around. Right foot plants outside of the left thigh. Taking the twist this time to the right. Left arm lifts. Head turns to the right. Coming back through center. We should be feeling really nice right now. Go ahead, cross the legs again, roll through to tabletop. And we want to show some love to this lower lumbar region of our spine. Stand up on the knees. Now we can create this support system in the lower back to help us here, bringing both palms to that lower back region. And we want to push the hips forward, begin to lean back. Gently tossing the head back. And if it feels okay for you, I invite you to drop the hands back down towards the heels, taking the full expression of camel pose. Breathe. Inhale, rise through center. Great, so now we are all the way into the quads. Let's go ahead and get those nice and stretched out. So instead of sitting all the way down on the heels, We are going to drop the seat back towards the heels, but we want the heels to splay out slightly right next to the sides of our hips, sides of our butt. And then once we get nice and comfortable, because sometimes this can pull at the skin on the tops of the feet, so just get yourself situated here to a comfortable position, or somewhat comfortable. Of course, it's not going to be 100%. And then we can begin to bring the hands back behind us. And this is a pretty intense stretch. So with the intensity as it deepens, let's go ahead and do the same with our breathing. We can just lower back, and if there's a little bit more room to go deeper, we can lower the forearms down. And if there's even more room, feel free to lower all the way down onto the back. Ooh, yes, this is an intense stretch. We're almost there, guys. Stick with me. 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise out of this at a snail's pace, nice and slow. Plant the palms, press back up. Good. Begin to rise back into tabletop. We can move the hips again from side to side, whatever we need to rebound out of that stretch. And then shift the weight into the right hip. Swing the legs all the way around towards the front of the mat. We're really going to get it back into the hamstrings here, into the lower portion of the legs, the calves, the shins, all over these areas. So we'll keep the feet flexed like this, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. So keeping this active version of the stretch, we pull the crown of the head down towards the toes, feeling this all along the hamstrings, getting into the lower portion of the legs as well. Now we're going to stay right where we are. The only difference here is we'll point through the toes. We should be feeling this in the lowest extremities, as well as our ankles and our feet. Flex the feet again. Keep pulling forward. Lengthening the spine as well here. And then one last time, point through the toes. Inhale, lift. All right, we've made it, you guys. So our final stretch here, we don't want to leave our ankles and our toes out here. So let's plant the sole of the foot down into the mat. We'll create this little upside down V shape. Cross the right ankle on top of that left knee, left thigh. And we're gonna give the ankles a nice little roll here. We don't wanna leave these guys out. They hold our whole body weight up sometimes, and we're constantly on them. We wanna show them some love. And then finally, the toes. Give the toes a nice squeeze here, nice little scratch, wiggle them out, and we'll go ahead and switch sides. Plant the right palm down. Roll the ankles. Showing some love today to our full body, all the way from our head down to our toes. Give the feet a nice little wiggle, a nice stretch on this side too. Plant the sole of the foot down. And let's go ahead, face the front once again in our seated position. Bring the palms to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing another deep, full body stretch with me today. Namaste. I hope you guys enjoyed our practice today. And once again, as a reminder, if you enjoyed this practice and you benefited from it, please please don't forget to hit the like button below. It really helps to get these videos into the YouTube algorithm to try to get the positive vibes and the word out there. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share this video with all of your friends, and don't forget to leave me a comment below too. Let me know how you feel. Say hi to Ozzy. He came to say hi to us right at the end here. This is my amazing dog. And yeah, thanks guys once again. Peace.